Hello, Just Too Good here, and welcome to the second episode of the Just2 podcast, a podcast where it's just two of us, where we talk about Lego and have a good time. Today I'm joined by Jack from the BrickVault. I think BrickVault is the only new Lego reviewing channel to become really big in the last year with over 300,000 subscribers, which is incredibly impressive. So how are you doing today, Jack?
Oh, thank you for that kind intro, sir. I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear.
I'm still a little jet lagged from being out of town for a while, but yeah, I think I'm finally sort of getting back on my feet.
Awesome to hear. Okay, so to start off, to those who don't watch BrickVault, tell us what kinds of videos BrickVault brings to the table.
Well, like you said, we are a review channel, so we definitely do lots of Lego set reviews. And then we also do a lot of custom building. We're trying to do, the goal is to do at least one custom build a week.
That's pretty awesome.
We don't always hit that goal. And then I try to do like a collection video a week, and then news. We also do just like a weekly update news, and then we have it's like a schedule at this point. It's like Saturday is news, and then Sunday is top 10 mocks.
The top 10 mock videos. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Well, I got you. So now I have a question I ask everyone who appears on here. Are your videos kid friendly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Sometimes I use overly big words because I'm dumb, and then I listen to it, I'm like, why would I use that like formal language? Like, it's not how I talk. So it's kid friendly, but sometimes I use like weird words.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, from what I've seen, all your videos are kid friendly. I just like clearing it up with the creators themselves.
Oh, this makes sense. Well, we have gotten demonetized a couple of times just from like
same here.
the advertise. You get that too?
Yeah, it was like for some. Like, one was a Halloween, when I did like a Halloween review of a Monster Fighter set, and for some reason that got hit. And there was another time recently, like a video this weekend that got hit, and I was like, what the heck? Thankfully they fix it in like a day, but... Right.
Yeah. That's the same with us. It doesn't... Sometimes it'll say that we're demonetized, and then we're not demonetized, and then other times we'll like actually be demonetized, so it's... I used to think there was like a rhyme and reason to it, and then I just found out, I'm like, nope, they do the news sometimes, they do a collection video other times, they do reviews, and I'm just like...
Does that hit you like when you first upload it, or is it like a little bit later that day, or even like a day after?
We've gotten hit a day after before, and then also within like the first like 5 minutes. It really just... Yeah, it really is kind of all over the place. It was funny, I was looking through the first time we got hit. I was like, "What happened?" And I was going through the annotations. You know how YouTube will like annotate automatically.
Yeah.
And it was a video that Mike did, and he's got that like Polish accent. And it was actually, because this is kid friendly, I can't say what YouTube thought he said.
That's hilarious.
But needless to say, I was like, Mike, you are never allowed to say hairpiece ever again.
That's so funny.
You have to use hair mold. You have to use a different name for that term.
That's pretty hilarious. So moving on to the Lego questions. What was the first Lego set you remember buying?
I would say, I think that was in the Ice Planet. The Ice Planet.
Oh yeah, for
phase.
Space. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the first space anything I was introduced to way back when.
Oh yeah,
but like
94, I think. I don't remember.
I can't even remember, but I remember that being like the first one where I was like, I bought it, like, you know, like I had an allowance or something, and that was the first thing that I actually was like mine. But my brothers and I just had a couple of big bins of Lego.
That was because most of the Lego I used to have when I was young was my brothers, but we would play with them, together. But was it like, have you been into Lego since then, or was it something that like when you were adult you got back into Lego?
It was kind of funny. It was one of those things where most of the Lego we got were just gifted to us from family friends who had kids that stopped playing with their Lego. So we just had these two gigantic bins, and I played with it. And it would be this thing where like I would like just pour the two big loads of Lego like onto the living room floor and just like, this is my afternoon now. And then I would never clean it up, and my dad would always like step on pieces and stuff. And so eventually, like when I stopped, like I don't know, I started building less or something.
Yeah.
I totally thought I was still into Lego, but my parents, like, I think when I was in middle school, were like, hey, so like so and so had some kids, and you guys don't really play with it that much, so we got rid of all your Lego. And I was like, what?
What? Dang!
Hey.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, I was bummed, but so
yeah. When did you get into it as an adult?
Like the interesting thing, like I guess my brothers and I, we never stopped being into it. Like we didn't get to build as much at that point, but like it became like we would give each other like Lego sets as like birthday gifts.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
So like it was, one of my brothers is like really into the pirate stuff. He's still got like every pirate ship or something. Like, and then like I was always getting like, I don't know, SpongeBob and other little things. Even up until like through college, like we were still kind of like
that's dope.
Yeah, just like back and forth, but we weren't like doing a lot of building. And then my older brother, Charlie, he got like jumped back into it hardcore back in like the mid 2000s or something.
Yeah.
And so he was part of a lug, and he was doing really big builds at conventions and stuff, and even running like a Bricklink store at one point. And he was like, I don't know, he was deep into it. Like his last project, he was like, I think I want to build the entire castle from Evil Dead. And I was just
that's awesome. Wow.
I was like, that's cool. He's like, I want to build it perfectly to scale, but then I realized it would take up like my entire living room. I was like,
dang.
So he was more hardcore for sure throughout like our formative years.
I see. I got you. So I remember you've said that Lego City is your favorite Lego theme, but why is this?
What's funny is like I say it, and then I kind of like I change my mind all the time. I'm like, oh, Lego City. I feel like as like a baseline, as like a contextual theme to have Lego coming. Like if Lego had to get rid of everything, like in terms of their themes, and hold on to one, I was like, all right, it would probably be City. Like just keep it like, that's sort of like original system stuff where they sort of stemmed from. And I was like, all right, like let's.
That totally.
It's sort
sense.
of like why my favorite piece is the 2x4. It's like, okay, like
that's the most. Yeah, I got you. That's like the most streamlined, basic, but it's like the foundation.
Like what do I think when I think of Lego? Like if I had to like go back into the id of Lego, I'm like, okay, what would I think? Like what do I imagine in the back of my head? But in terms of like what's being produced right now, I mean, it almost just goes by themes and waves. I'm like, oh man, like Lego Ninjago movie wave was amazing. Like,
oh yeah,
I really liked that. And then sometimes Star Wars is good. Other times Star Wars can feel a little bit light, and you're just
there's like good waves and bad waves. Yeah.
Yeah, so it really can fluctuate.
I got you.
And what's actually been ticking me off is City, when they make really good stuff, it's almost always overpriced. It's either really generic now, and then they like, oh, like this is a really unique, awesome. What was the gas station?
I was literally gonna say. I was like, I think to that gas station, which was $90, which is ridiculous.
I was just looking through. I was just like, there's no way, like.
It's
like
it,
the most unique thing that came out in that wave, and I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Like
that was so ridiculous because it looked so cool, but I never was able to get it because it was so pricey, and it was like, come on.
We bit the bullet on that. And, well, it's in the City now. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I've been trying to find that on clearance, but I guess they already cleared it out because at one week I'd see it, and then the next week it's gone. I'm like, crap, did I miss clearance or something? So.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, what's your favorite Lego minifigure if you have one?
Once again, I mean, I love Star Wars stuff. I mean, at a certain point, it's almost like, do I just equate it with like my favorite character that happens to be a minifigure, or like favorite minifigs? Like I really like. I'm actually working on a video right now for Space Police because they're just so goofy, like I love aliens Space and Police. Stuff.
Yeah,
it's just such a wholesome, like, all right, there's aliens and then there's like space police guys, like that's all it is. It's like almost like a city theme but just a space theme.
I love Space Police so much because like all those different alien designs were such cool minifigures, you know.
Yeah, they're just like it's just I don't know. It feels like I'm looking back at like an old like '60s cartoon, and they're just like the ridiculous like monster heads. Yeah, so I like those guys, but I don't really have like a specific.
No, I understand. I noticed you don't have a sig fig, right?
No, I don't. Fans have made a ton of sig figs for Mike and I. Like, we keep on getting pictures of, like,
I think I'll probably have to make one for this video. Put it like the thumbnail or something. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
But, okay, so what license do you want to see the most in Lego form?
Oh, yeah, okay. It's kind of funny because a lot of these questions are kind of similar to, like, when we do live streaming. So I feel like I would say
you've formulated these already.
Yeah, totally. I would say getting into some like cool video game themes. Like I honestly don't play that many video games, but like a Zelda theme would be awesome.
Oh man, that would kick butt. Oh my gosh.
Or if they got really creative with like I don't even know, like Mario. Like I feel like getting into some of like the classic sort of nostalgic video game stuff could be really fun because like Sonic was just such a tease.
Yeah, exactly. We only got Sonic. I mean, I guess we got Shell from Portal, but you know, like I wanted Tails, Shadow, all these other ones, and it's like, come on.
Yeah. So I think exploring the video game realm, even though like I wouldn't consider like myself like really into video games, I would say, especially like Zelda. I was just thinking about it. Like I had this conversation with somebody on the stream, and I was like, wait, like each set could be like a different dungeon or something.
Man, that'd be so freaking cool.
Yeah, you could get like. I don't know.
Like each one would be like a different, like we would get a Breath of the Wild one, we could get like an Ocarina of Time one, a Majora's Mask one.
Exactly, right.
So many. Oh my gosh, and that would.
It'd
I think
be funny,
that would be a great
even
way
like
to
go
get,
way back to like early Zelda too. You could get like a nice boxy one.
Yes.
I was like that would be fun, and you could play around with that theme for like any characters. You know,
I
like.
know. Oh my gosh, I would just love like a World of Nintendo theme because that's what I think. Jack's Pacific or one of those other toy companies does that where they just have a World of Nintendo, and so they'll release like a Star Fox figure, and then they'll release like a Mario playset, and it's like if Lego did this like they did superheroes, oh my gosh, that would be like amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting how like they definitely reach out with the licenses, but it's a very specific directed kind of thing. I wonder if they're gonna like reach out further. I don't really want them to do like adult themes. Like it's always kind of funny to like see custom builds and stuff like that. But
yeah, that the one I want the most for me is Nintendo. I'm like, that could appeal to everyone, and it would just be such a cool thing. Anyways,
Smash Bros.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh my gosh, like they could do World Nintendo, and then they could do Smash Bros. So this would be like the only way you could get like a Kirby figure or something like that.
Right.
Oh man, just there's so much potential there. Oh my gosh. So much. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So was there ever like a Lego set that you wanted the most, but you never were able to get?
Lego set that I wanted the most. What's funny is like, no, like we would get sets for each other, like whatever happened to be out, like at the time we would look around and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then we would like get sets for each other. But growing up, I wasn't even like aware that there were Lego sets like for the longest time. I just had this big bin and was like, oh, I guess there's pirate pieces. Oh, I guess there's like space pieces too. That's kind of funny. Like, and then I don't know. I never even had Lego or was aware of Lego sets until I went to like a friend's house and he had all the Rock Raider sets and I started taking them apart. And he was like, no, what are you doing?
That's hilarious.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh. So have you seen any of the Lego movies?
I saw the Lego movie. Loved the Lego movie.
Oh, so you didn't see Lego Batman or Ninjago?
I saw Batman too. I saw Batman in theaters.
Oh, so you haven't seen Ninjago yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten around to it.
Dang, I mean, not a lot of people have seen it.
Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. It was okay.
Was it good?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, but like it's definitely my least favorite.
I think I saw your review on that.
Yeah, it was my least favorite of the three. I thought it was still good. I think I liked it a lot more than some of the critics, but I just maybe that's because I love Lego and I love that Ninjago movie line so much, But
yeah, the movie. I mean, like the sets are. I was just like, I just love it.
I think they put like extra effort in there because they knew that this would be a hard sell to some of the adults, maybe. So like Ninjago City is like one of the coolest sets. So is like Destiny's Bounty, you know. But,
oh my gosh, yeah, the junk, yeah. I mean, that's what I call it, I guess. But,
yeah, because it's junk ship or whatever. But yeah, it's so freaking cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, especially being into like my brother who's like into all the pirate ships. He like, we have it here in the studio, but he's got all the other stuff in Orange County, and he's just like, I need that. Like, it's calling to me.
Yeah, I would say I think a lot of Ninjago movie sets are going to hit clearance soon. So. Because it seems like they're getting, like, the Brickheads. They're already getting rid of those 2 Brickheads that they had for Ninjago movie. The Toys R Us exclusive ones. Yeah, I guess because they didn't sell well or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the beauty with Brickheads is, like, all right, they're not that big a investment, I suppose. Like, okay, we made them and these ones didn't sell, but these ones are doing good.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Brickheads.
I like them a lot, yeah. I think I like them more than, like, the Funko Pops, because it seems like if these do get kind of old and tired, we could just take them apart and then we have some cool pieces, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's the thing is, like, even when there's, like, I'll very rarely get bent out of shape when I find a set that I don't like. If I build something, I'm like, this didn't work. I'm like, into the pile, you know? Like, we'll find a better use for you. That's fine.
Okay, so what out of all the 2018 Lego sets that you've seen or heard of do you want the most?
I mean, I'm always Star Wars is always what I want. I'm trying to think now. Out of what I've seen, I don't look at the leak rumor stuff as much, but I think Boba Fett buildable fig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Boba Fett buildable fig is just like that guy's. He has to be here now. Like I like Jango Fett.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I've been waiting for a Boba Fett, but did you see the new Darth Vader that they have?
Oh yeah, like it's cool that I guess. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like the general fleshy heads of the buildable figs. I think they look a little awkward, but but it is cool that they're basically doing what they do with the minifig. Like with the helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it off, right?
Yeah, you can take it off and there's a head. Yeah, so that's it. It looks kind of interesting. So we're going to get to some viewer questions, and for those of you watching who didn't know, you can submit your questions for each guest on the main thread in the subreddit a couple of days before the interview. The subreddit literally is reddit.com/r/just2good, but it's linked in the description if you need it. Either way, this first one was asked by Brother from Another Brick on Reddit. So Jack, if you had to cancel a Lego theme, which would it be and why?
Oh no. I mean, I don't want to step on any toes, but I mean there's plenty of themes that I just never touch because they don't interest me.
That's like me and Technic.
Yeah, I mean, on occasion I think Technic will do some like really cool stuff, but like I mean, I don't really have any special place in my heart for basically any theme that focuses on mini doll figs. Like I don't know,
like friends, elves. Yeah, okay, fair. Fair choice.
I think they're fine. Like, and I wouldn't, if that's what somebody's really into. And honestly, some custom builders have been doing some really cool stuff with the parts that come from there. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know.
That's acceptable. I got you.
I have no ill will in my heart for any particular theme though. And Brother from Another Brick.
Yeah, I love that guy. Have you seen any? Does he comment on your streams, or do you just like the name?
Oh yeah, he comes on all the time. Yeah,
he's a great guy. I actually met him in real life, like
that's cool.
a month ago. Yeah, he came to visit. Anyway, so this next question is asked by Up Your Fidelity on Reddit, who asks, "How long does it usually take to compile the minifig collection videos?"
Those ones are a mixed bag. I mean, some are really big collections, some are much smaller. I try to break them down sometimes to more manageable chunks. But let's say for Star Wars, it's like there's the research portion of it, which is looking it up on Bricklink, and then there's this great website minifigs.nl, which is like this other collector who's like crazy hardcore.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, minifigs.nl. It's this like website he's dedicated just to his Lego minifigure Star Wars collection, and he's like the best resource ever.
Awesome.
But like it can take like several hours of research. I like to script it out. Like at least write down like maybe a note about the fig and then like all of its logistical information, like the sets and the price and everything. It like for like, let's say a 30 minifig video that spans like, Star Wars is hard because versions of characters will come out in a bunch of different years, and sometimes when you're looking at them on Bricklink, they'll be in different lists. Like Batman will have its own Batman themed list.
It's
but
like,
you'll also
there's like
find
the
it in
old
superheroes.
one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so in the beginning, I made a lot of mistakes because I wasn't good at. I wasn't like savvy using all the different research tools.
Yeah.
So I'd make mistakes, and I'd either live with the terrible mistakes and then update it later, or just almost put a video out and then realize I'm missing a fig or something, and then shelve that episode for like a month until I can Bricklink, like the last remaining guy. But it can take like, in terms of all pre-production, recording, editing, it can take over 10 hours for like a 30 minifig episode. It can take
I got you.
Yeah, it can take over 10 hours.
That's interesting. Okay, this one is from Cobalt Cab, who asks, do you actually have a vault full of Lego bricks?
No, it's a metaphor.
Okay.
It was a pretty simple thing. Like I went into my brother's garage.
Yeah.
When I was out of the country for like several years actually, and I came back and I was in his house, and his garage was full of Lego. Like he stopped doing his Bricklink store and he was just doing some custom building on the side.
Yeah.
But he had like the remains of what I think was a pretty substantial store. And it was like over 500,000 bricks or something, all neatly organized in tons of sets everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I made some comment about a vault, and then it was his idea. He was like, yeah, we could just call it BrickVault, and then let's do the stop motion animation for some vault doors opening and bing, bang, bong. And that was...
Well,
it's
super catchy. I always like the name. But yeah, Skirty Birdie on Reddit asks, if you had unlimited Lego and time, what would be the first thing you build?
Unlimited Lego and time.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Right. Like the thing that I probably build Blitz and Chits, the full arcade from Rick and Morty.
Oh,
like
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Like it's got like this big open sort of area in the middle, and it's sort of you can see the different floors coming around in this big sort of circular thing, all these colorful arcade machines and stuff, and aliens everywhere. I'm like,
nobody has made that yet. That's actually pretty
cool.
Cool.
It's an ambitious build. I mean, like I was looking at it, it would be massive like, if you wanted to do it. Like my brother and I are always like into the minifig scale stuff. We really like getting stuff like scaled. Just it's a fun limitation to have.
Yeah, same here.
Or like a rule to make.
Yeah, because I'm never into like whenever they release like a miniature set. Like I know Star Wars does that a lot with the polybags. I never really cared for it. It's like, yeah, whatever,
Yeah, it's like if there's like a clever thing that you see in there where you're like, oh, that's like a great little way they use this piece to like give an impression of like a larger shape or something, then it's interesting. But
exactly.
But often, I mean, you can't force a perfect little placement. Like it's nice when you see like a seed piece where you look at a build and you're like, oh, that's like the perfect thing. Like, of course, you used that one part.
Exactly. All right, so on to the video-related questions. So first off, I'm still kind of confused. I've never seen level cap before, but you guys seem to be linked. So do you run level cap? Are you just a part of it? What's the deal with level cap and BrickVault?
Okay, so level cap is my brother, Charlie. Okay. So he basically, the BrickVault channel started basically as a conversation between him and I, and he had his head on doing a Lego channel for like a really long time. Yeah. But he works we both work like crazy hours, like maintaining the channels. Yeah. So he was looking at it and he was like, I have absolutely no time to do any Lego, any other time to do another project. And I was doing a bunch of production work at the time, and I was just kind of like getting reacquainted with Lego and just like being back in the States. Yeah. Just in general being back in the States. And then he was like, well, hey, like I've got this garage full of Lego, and you've got free time, sort of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's like, let's set up some cameras in the garage, and like, let's see where this goes. So, but he's like a pretty talented producer in terms of being a bit more knowledgeable in terms of video production, and he's been running his YouTube channel. I think at that point it had been going for like 4 or 5 years.
I see.
So he kind of knew all the ins and outs, and then I had all the time, a little bit of video experience, and I was basically working part-time at another job, and then showing up in his garage like every single day, like, and working like basically full-time on the channel and then part-time at like an actual job.
I see. So is BrickVault your channel, or would you say it's your channel and his channel?
It's both of ours. It's like, it was his initial suggestion to start, and it was something that it was like a brainchild of his that he had been thinking about for a long time. But at this point, it's kind of like I'll talk to him on Skype. We'll talk about like a few things here and there about just general episode ideas. So at this point, like, he's very hands off. Like, there's times when he doesn't even, like, I'll talk to him in like 2 weeks and be like, oh yeah, how's it going? Like, I run the channel for sure, but it's absolutely both of ours. Like the vision and like the formatting, like we had a lot of time to sort of work out a lot of kinks and episode ideas and stuff. Like, it was his idea to do the weekly news, and like, he's kind of his hands are very much in the production in the background, but like on a day-to-day basis, it's like me and then Mike too.
That totally makes sense. And yeah, speaking of Mike, I remember when you guys first started, there was a whole bunch of like other people, different people in the videos. What happened to that?
So that was we had friends, and we were in Orange County, so like a lot of friends that were also just like actors and like knew how to be good on camera and stuff. And so it started out as sort of like a fun thing to do. Like, I wasn't even planning on like being in the videos. Like, the first like 2 or 3 months, I don't think I was in any of the videos. I was just directing people, operating all the cameras.
Were you like telling them what to say, or like?
Kind of. Like, I would be like, hey, like, you should talk about this part of the thing now. Like, what do you think about this part? I wouldn't be like, this is like that. I wouldn't like, repeat after me. No, but I did have a formula. Like, all right, like, let's start first talk about the minifigs, then let's talk about this. And they were very good. Like, some were mutual friends. I think 1 or 2 of them were just like friend of a friend people that like we could just have in front of a camera. And then we moved, down to San Diego. So it was like, all right, like, they're like, oh man, my Lego building gig, I've got to leave town. Like, everybody, they all had, it was. And then at that point, it was actually pretty good though, in terms of like time saving and like, and also just getting a lot of people's like different takes on things.
So how did Mike team up with you?
Mike actually talked to me first. He recognized me at a Lego store.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and he was just like, wait a second. He was like, aren't you like on YouTube and stuff? And I was like, yeah. And we just started talking. Mike's a really talkative guy. And,
by the way, for those watching, I plan to have Mike on eventually on the Just2 podcast. No worries.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He'll real talk. He goes. But yeah, he was basically, he's just like a go-getter. Like we had another guy that was working on BrickVault for a little bit down in San Diego, but he was moving on to other things.
Yeah, and makes sense.
And then we were talking about this and that, and he has, Mike's, he kind of to work on the channel is like, you have to wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people that can do all the things that I'm like, okay, I need you to be able to like work the camera and like know how to do the videography stuff with the lighting, and then also you have to host, and also you have to know how to edit, and also like bricklink orders, and also like it's just like and then the list compiles and refines, and then and
So is there anybody else behind the scenes besides your brother and Mike?
Recently, we have an intern.
Oh, cool.
So we're close to a college, and so we've got eager people that come in. It's like work experience, and we do some. We'll like train them on like video editing and things like that. So we have one intern right now.
I got you.
But they're around as Nahum. He's good, but he's also like it's also like semester comes in and he's like
that
out
totally
for a
makes
bit
sense.
But it's good. It's like it's really really helpful, honestly.
Yeah. So was there ever a video that you guys planned on releasing but like scrapped it? I mean, I remember you guys were going to do like the worst sets of 2016. And I was actually waiting to watch that, but I don't think it ever came.
Yeah, it never came. That was one where
I was disappointed. I was like, oh, I want to see it.
I know. It's like the thing is like I don't like I started like thinking of like I could think of like 2 or 3 and then I was like, I feel like this list is going to be super forced because I just don't hate a lot of stuff, like, or if I don't like it, I'm just I don't know, like I can't get bent out of shape enough, and I'm like, oh man, it felt like I started working on it and I was like, this feels like I'm just acting like more upset about something that I'm not really. I was like, I'm not gonna do it.
I've had that experience before. Do you remember what those sets were gonna be though? Like the 1 or 2
I think the gas station was in there for sure. Oh shoot,
yeah, because
was that? I think that was 2016.
Yeah, that was.
Or was that 2016? Yep. Yeah. And then there was a really bad Ninjago bike set. I can't remember what the heck it was, but it was like the bikes just like all the parts like basically scraped along the ground. Like if you,
I think that was the Skybound one, maybe.
It could have been, yeah. I think it was from Skybound. It was just because I like bikes, and I'm always like super critical. I'm like, if you can't lean a motorcycle in a Lego set or a toy set, then like it's a failure. Like that, I don't know why. I just have like this thing because I fell in love with motorbikes through playing around with like police motorbikes and Lego. Like they were just such fun toys to play around with. And then like the new ones are like, oh, look at all this stuff we put on the side, and then you can't even like roll it. I'm just like, okay.
So for the YouTube channel, if you had one critique of the Lego YouTube community, what would it be? Like, how could the community or content creators as a whole improve, or something they could learn?
I mean, well, at a certain point, I feel like, well, this is actually what you're doing is awesome. Like the fact that there's more collaborating and reaching out.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I mean because my brother, when he was starting in the gaming community for his channel, he was like he was kind of, when we started, he was like, wow, like what, like Lego channels don't like, there's like no like collaborating. Like there's part of it is like we're working with a physical thing, and we all live in different places, and there's definitely like a logistical aspect, but there's also this kind of undertone of like at a certain point, it's like who can get the set out first, and there's like this sort of competitive nature to it as well. So I think that might make people like sort of reluctant.
No, that actually totally makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I've been having this podcast in my mind for a while, and I'm like, at first I wanted to just do non-Lego YouTube stars. I'm like, this would be a cool way to reach out to some of the people I watch, like BrickVault. Jang Bricks I sent like a message to. Hopefully he'll respond. We'll see. I know a lot of people have been asking Jang Bricks.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and I think next week we're having Michael MGF, a.k.a. Ross.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
It would be a great way
figs,
to like bring. Yeah, exactly. So
cool.
That's actually that's a really good advice, So, cool. Well, yeah, so random questions, okay? So have you ever been recognized in public? I mean, besides with Mike, but
At the Lego store, I have been recognized a handful of times.
That's awesome.
And like waiting in line early in the morning for a set, it's like, sometimes that'll happen. I remember the first time it happened, I was waiting in line in Orange County before we moved to San Diego.
Yeah.
and this guy, I just remember this guy just being like, "Oh, dog, no way, dog!" Like that BrickVault guy, like it was this funny guy. Like
That's awesome.
He just, that was kind of funny. And then maybe once or twice at like conventions, like I went to Bricks by the Bay and ran into like honestly like 3 people. Like it's not.
That's cool. So like how much times per week, or is it just something that it happens kind of rarely?
Like it's happened. I can say like 5 times at the Lego store total, and then maybe 3 or 4 times at like conventions. Like
so never like at a random store like Target or whatever.
No, that's never happened.
Okay.
I don't think. Sometimes I feel like because I'll go to like a Lego store, and the way people like talk to me is like I'll see them staring at me or something, and then like I'll catch their eye again later, and then I'll catch their eye again like a 3rd time, and they're like, "You're that guy, right?"
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, so what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man, you gotta crunch that down into genres, dude. I could go for days.
Okay, top 5.
Top 5
in no particular order, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say one of my go-tos is The Fifth Element. It's just such a fun, feel-good action thriller.
Yeah,
they just don't make those '90s blockbusters like they, or maybe early 2000s blockbusters like they used to.
I think it was '98. Yeah.
Oh, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, like, Chris Tucker's character is amazing. And like,
I mean, the guy who did that, he did Valerian, I think, this summer.
Right, yeah. And I've heard mixed things. Like, it could become sort of like a culty, classic-y kind of movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched it.
I see.
But I'm a big fan of movies that have, like, a lot of really awesome sort of practical effects. Like, big Terry Gilliam fan.
Oh, nice.
You know, he does like Brazil and like Baron von Munchausen and Time Bandits, like just these massive puppets and models. Okay, like I would say another one on the list is Army of Darkness.
Of course,
like
yeah. Evil Dead 3, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Bruce Campbell is just like that movie is just so amazing.
Do you watch the new show, the Ash vs. the Evil Dead?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I haven't seen. I don't want it to like ruin, like, because I don't know if it's gonna be any good. I just know that I love that movie like so much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it needs anything more, but I might check it out. Do you watch it?
No, I don't want. I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things about it.
So it's a TV show. I heard that they did like a movie. So they actually doing a whole.
They're
show
doing
with, like,
there's Ash vs. the Evil Dead is a TV show. They did a new Evil Dead movie. I saw that and it was like. I was like, oh, come on. I like the original had that camp,
like the horror one, like where they remade the horror version.
Yeah, they remade the exactly.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I was like, yeah. My friend was like hyping up. He's like, this is scariest stuff, and I'm like, this wasn't really scary, and the characters are very unlikable. But yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite animated movie or?
I'm a big Miyazaki fan. Huge Miyazaki fan.
Awesome, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. You could name any. I think Princess Mononoke probably has the most nostalgic value.
Great choice.
That was like a movie that I saw. Like my dad just like took my brothers and I to Japantown in San Francisco one day, and he was just like, "We're gonna see a movie." Yeah, and
awesome.
He's like, "We're gonna see a movie, and it's only playing in Japantown." And we're like, "What is it?" And he was just like, "I think you guys will like it." Like he didn't even tell us what we were seeing.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and it was like we were seeing like a full theater, and like every time somebody's head got lobbed off, like the whole crowd would just be like, "Whoa!"
Was it subbed or dubbed? Like, did you watch it with subtitles or was it like English voice?
I feel like it was probably dubbed because I was kind of young and I like sense. Was following along.
Yeah.
But at this point, if I watch a foreign film, I would never.
Yeah.
Not unless you're watching like a funny thing.
Exactly. Like, No, always got to go with the subtitles. But do you have a favorite video game?
Favorite video game? It's funny because my brother's like his whole life is computer and video games.
Yeah.
But not really. Like I don't honestly play like I haven't played like a legit computer game or video game in forever. Like the last thing I was like crazy into was like Halo 2 or Halo.
Yeah,
you know, like,
it was like what 2003, 2004.
Like my brothers and I used to be, or they're both still like so in the thick of it in terms of just like being on top of like every little thing and like playing all the stuff all the time forever. And I don't know, for some reason I never got into like playing a lot. Like I know I got really into like all the like N64 was like the height of everything, and then
I love the N64. Oh my gosh.
and I did a little bit of MMO stuff, like the Diablo games were fun, and
yeah.
I don't know.
I got you.
But I mean, all my experience with games is like very minimal compared to like probably the average person. I'm not much of a video game player. So, even though I think the Lego sets would still be dope.
Exactly.
They have enough cultural relevance alone.
Yeah, at least with Nintendo, you know, Mario is just such a recognizable character. I remember they did like a survey, and I think Mario was voted like the most recognizable like fictional character, like next to Mickey Mouse. So I was like, wow.
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah. I completely believe that.
Yeah. So, anyways, do you have a favorite food?
I got a lot of foods. Got a lot of foods I like. I like Korean food a lot.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, you could any kind of Korean dish I'm into.
I see. Do you have a least favorite food?
Least favorite food. I've eaten some nasty stuff. I've like what people like. I used to live in Southeast Asia for a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, today you're gonna have an entire chicken, and I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, like literally the whole chicken. Like we didn't take anything out of it, and it's like the head and the feet and everything. Oh my gosh. Just like, so I've eaten some weird stuff, and like anything that's like cartilage or like just raw fat, like I can't do that.
I totally got you. But where in Southeast Asia did you live?
I used to live in Vietnam.
Whoa.
And I did a lot of like backpacking, like spend a month in like Cambodia, or like spend a month.
That's pretty awesome.
Like, yeah, I had a lot of good sort of vagabonding around for a bit.
Makes sense. All right, so this was asked by Popper45 Topper on the subreddit, but what's your favorite music? I guess genre, band.
I mean, at this point, you know, this is everybody's answer is, oh, I listen to everything.
Yeah.
It's like,
makes sense.
I can say that like the biggest bands that I was into, like there was a phase in middle school and high school where it was like only Metallica, like literally like only Metallica. And I haven't listened to them in years, but I feel like I was so into them back then. I probably still know the words to like most of their songs.
That's awesome.
Nowadays I'm not as, you know, teenage angsty anymore, and I don't. My life isn't so difficult.
Yes.
But now it's a lot of alternative stuff. I like sort of the lo-fi hip hop things, like, you know, because now I'm just listening to what I can listen to while I edit.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, no, I feel
like,
yeah.
The downtime where I can still hear what I need to hear, but like, you know, have a nice sort of like chill beats.
Yeah, no, I got you. I totally got you. Yeah, when I edit, I usually put on like video game music that I love, and it helps me edit, you know, or script.
Right. Well, that stuff is like designed to keep you like engaged. Like that's literally like engineered to like keep you kind of like, you know, keep a little rhythm going and like just, you know, repeats.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. So, finally, have you ever had a near-death experience?
Yeah, I've had yeah.
Would you mind sharing? I'm kind of curious.
I've been in some sort of like precarious situations, but the I would say probably like the actual thing where I almost like drowned was like,
whoa.
I was doing like I was cliff rappelling in Vietnam. Like there was this cool thing where you go on this like, it's like this little tour group. You go with like maybe 4 or 5 or 10 other people, and you're all wearing harnesses, and you have a few guides, and they teach you how to rappel, and you're literally like rappelling down like waterfall faces, like cliff faces, but with like running water.
Whoa.
And it's really fun. It's honestly like everything was
scary?
Was going fine. There's one that was like the cliff goes away and you're like hanging there, and they're like, okay, you have to like know when to release and like kick away, and then you just like jump, like you're like on the side of the waterfall, and then you like kick off and you just like land in the water. That one was scary. But there was one that was supposed to be kind of tame, but there was a problem with the ropes. They called it like, they had like a name for it, like the laundromat, like the dishwasher, like something that spun. I can't remember the name of it, but like oh, this is the one that makes you spin, and like the water hits you on one shoulder and you spin away, and then it hits you again, and then you start spinning kind of fast. and this rope got tangled around like
gosh.
my release rope, and so they I released, but it got caught, and it got caught right at the point where like I couldn't get my head above the water,
crap.
and this like really powerful like waterfall was just coming down on top of my head, and I could like get up for like a little bit, like just like some air, and they'd be like, let go of the. I'm like, I'm not holding on, or I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't like even get any words out.
Yeah.
I was just like trying to like get.
So the other
away
tourists
from
like
the thing.
noticed? Or?
Yeah, and the guides were like freaking out because I was stuck underneath a waterfall. I couldn't get back out. So what they did is they just cut the rope. They literally just cut both my ropes, and then like they had to catch me before I went down the next waterfall.
Oh my gosh.
So that was like.
Oh my gosh.
It was one of those things in the moment where I was kind of like, okay, that was crazy, and then like later I was just like shaking. I was like, dude, like that was actually a lot closer than I really thought.
That is freaking crazy. Did you like take a break from your I guess adventures after that, or
No, not at all.
Oh man,
just kept riding.
That's awesome. Man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun stuff.
Hey, well,
yeah, there's a few little things like that.
That's pretty. That is the craziest.
Have you had a near
Oh
near
my
death
gosh,
experience?
that's what. I think the only time was like when I was young and I was like maybe like 3, and I remember it's funny because my mom was like, she was in like New York, and so my dad was watching us, and we were at like our cousin's house, and there was just this one time where I kept trying to go, because I guess I could swim back then. I don't know how, but I kept trying to go back up to breathe, and I kept being under this float, and I was freaking out, and that was like one of the scariest moments of my life. But yeah, that's about the only time though. Thankfully, it was when I was young. But yeah,
the drowning, the almost drowning thing. Yeah, it'll stick with you.
Exactly. There you go. We could relate with that. So anyway, this was a great podcast. So where can people find you?
BrickVault channel. I think YouTube/BrickVault is actually leads us to the channel now.
Awesome.
Before it's like a bunch of. But yeah, we got the channel, and we do live stream. We try to live stream once every weekday.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
So where's your do you have a big video coming up soon that people could look out for, or?
I just ordered I ordered just under 12,000 pieces from 40 different vendors on Bricklink. And I'm dealing with the aftermath because, of course, like 1 out of 4 people is like, I don't have the parts you're looking for.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yeah, it's just, you do the order and you're like, okay, let's see how many fixes. It's like a week of fixes, and then it's like another 3 weeks of like waiting for everything to come in.
Yeah.
So that's not like that video or that project isn't going to be like starting this week or next week, probably maybe like a month from now, but it's our biggest build ever.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it was designed. Yeah, it's cool. We're
awesome.
Really excited about it. Yeah,
looking forward to that. So anyways, for those watching, you could find me on, of course, youtube.com/just2good, where you are watching this, but also we have the subreddit for Just Too Good, which is linked in the description. Again, we're going to do discussion threads on these podcasts. You could also put which guests you want to see on the podcast, and you could leave questions for the upcoming guests, which we should have our new discussion thread for this podcast as well. So that's it for now, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.